There's a common phrase in the internet world that talks about getting outside in order to touch grass. And while this is a cute, pithy phrase, I feel compelled to take it seriously and unpack why it's so important. Because you see, something happens when you go outside. For one, you commit to facing the unknown. Who knows what you'll experience outside your home? Who you might run into or what you might encounter? It could be good or it could be bad, but either way, it's an adventure, even if it's a mini adventure. Walking out the door requires that you leave behind a controlled environment, which means you need to gear up and go out prepared, even if it's just with a wallet and a set of keys. But all of this is true regardless of what you're doing, and I want to talk specifically about nature. You see, being in the great outdoors does something to your mind. If you're hiking in a forest or up a mountain, you have to grapple with your own insignificance. When sitting at your desk with the World Wide Web at your fingertips, you can easily delude yourself into thinking you are in control, and maybe even feel powerful. But being in nature makes you feel small. And the humility that comes from walking alongside grandiose landscapes will make you a more humble person. Not only that, but going outside helps you breathe. I'm not kidding. Have you ever heard of the term email apnea? It's a common behavior where someone sitting in front of a computer will either stop breathing entirely or their breathing will become very shallow. Seriously, look it up. Everybody does it. But getting outside lets you fill your lungs with fresh air, which does absolute wonders for mental health and anxiety. And if you need another reason to get outside, seriously just look at how beautiful it is. I just decided to record one random hike on a Saturday, and I'm in the middle of editing this right now, and I'm absolutely blown away at how amazing it is out here. Being able to take in the beauty of nature is one of life's greatest gifts, and experiencing it firsthand doesn't even compare to looking at a picture or a video. This is the kind of thing that brings life to my bones. You see, I do creative work now. I used to just be a programmer, but now I make games and YouTube videos, which requires a good amount of creativity. Whenever I walk away from my work and get outside, inspiration abounds. There are two things in this world that make my thinking crystal clear. The first one is showers. I come up with most of my good ideas in the shower. And the other one is nature. Thinking just seems easier outside. Maybe it's the tremendous amount of stimuli, or maybe it's the physical act of moving around. But whatever it is, I can say that most of my good game ideas are influenced from my walking, running, and hiking adventures. When I see a meadow surrounded by trees, I immediately start to think, how could I create that? Hiking as a game developer is a unique experience, and I find that my mind is both at ease and constantly churning through ideas as I adventure outdoors. Now, I'll be honest, there are days when I feel discouraged, days where I feel lethargic, tired, uninspired, and hesitant to work on anything. But every single time, without fail, when I go outside, my mood does a complete 180-degree turn. And it doesn't have to be driving to a hike that's an hour away. Oftentimes, it's just walking out my front door and taking my dog for a walk. The outside world is a limitless resource that you can indulge in without ever hitting the bottom of the barrel. And that inspiration has directly manifested itself into the games that I develop. If you've seen my game Bridges and Docks, then you'll know that there's a big emphasis on environment, vegetation, land, and ocean. I'm trying to capture some of the beauty that I see in the world and distill it into a chill building game. And I guess maybe that's just my preference for video games. I love a first-person shooter as much as the next guy, but the games that really get me excited are the ones where I can get lost in the environment and beauty of that world. I strongly believe that the game industry as a whole would benefit enormously if game developers would regularly get outside and experience the majestic sights of the world around us. And I guess society as a whole too, but whatever. I know most of you watching this are interested in game development. And what I like about Bridges and Docks is that it's a minimalistic representation of what you find outside. Being able to carve out land, change the color of the water, and place trees and rocks amidst a small village is a surprisingly cathartic enterprise. I'm a new dad, and so far it's been a wild ride. There are many things I question about my own parenting, and I'm constantly thinking about what principles and passions I'd like to instill in my daughter. I have a long list, but right near the top I've written that I hope she grows up with a zeal for nature. I hope that I can take her on adventures, push her out of her comfort zone, and show her some truly stunning sights. I'm hoping that she will look at the world with a curious spark in her eye, and that she will chase that curiosity with tenacity. And when we're done adventuring in the great outdoors, I hope we can come home, curl up on the couch, and explore virtual worlds together too. But I have to say, the virtual world is no match for the physical one. And one final note, I'm wrapping up my development on this game, Bridget. Oh, sorry, baby's crying. Do you want to say something into the mic? Say hello. I know. And one final note, I'm getting really close to wrapping up my development on my game Bridges and Docks. So if you want to check it out, it would mean a lot if you would wishlist it on Steam. So I hope that I can encourage you today to step outside of your comfort zone, seek an adventure, get up from your desk, step outside, and go touch grass.